Welcome back to Relearning. In this video, we'll talk about how we use GCP, the fan out pattern, in order to publish our journals to social media platforms. So let's dive in. The problem is writing the same thing multiple times. People build elaborate CI/CD pipelines for code automated tests, deployments, the whole thing. So why not build the same for ideas and actual notes? I write everything in Markdown, but getting it out there means reformat for LinkedIn, trim it down for threads because of the character limits, manually hit publish 2 times and it kills the flow. So I stopped doing it manually. I apply the classic cloud architecture concept, the fan out pattern, to build a serverless system where I push once and it shows up everywhere. And let me show you how it works. Here's the architecture. It starts at GitHub Actions. Now most guides will tell you to create a service account key, that JSON file, and dump it into your GitHub secrets. Don't do that. Google's documentations literally tells you not to. It's a pain to rotate and it's a security liability sitting in your repo. Instead, I'm using Workload Identity Federation. Here's what happens. GitHub generates a short-lived OIDC token, exchanges it with Google Cloud, and gets a temporary access token back. No persistent keys anywhere. This is how you do keyless authentication properly. Once authenticated, the message goes to PubSub. Now I could have triggered Cloud Functions directly from PubSub, but I routed through Eventarc into Google Cloud Workflows instead. Why add that layer? 2 reasons: observability and resilience. And this is where it gets interesting. In distributed systems, stuff fails. So LinkedIn's API might throw a 500 while Threads is working fine, but with a simple PubSub trigger, one failure can mess up everything. But look at this workflow. I've got a parallel block, branch A handles LinkedIn, branch B handles Threads. They run completely independently. And check out this retry policy. If Threads rate limits me or throws a server error, the workflow retries just that branch. Exponential backoff, up to 3 attempts or 5 attempts. Meanwhile, the LinkedIn post goes out on time, the whole pipeline doesn't crash because one API had a bad day. You don't get that kind of granular control with basic PubSub triggers. A quick note here on the secrets. The API tokens for LinkedIn and Threads never leave Google Cloud. They're not in the PubSub message, they're not in GitHub. They live in the secret manager. The cloud function pulls them at runtime, right before it needs them. So even if someone intercepts the PubSub message, all they can see is the blog post text, not my credentials. It's just basic security hygiene, but a lot of people skip it. And let's go and run it live. I'm pushing a new journal entry. GitHub Action picks it up, authenticates through Federation, publishes to PubSub. Over in Google Cloud, watch the workflow trigger. There's the parallel step, both branches running, and they're green. Let me pull up LinkedIn. There it is, formatted. Threads, posted at the same time. One push and it's everywhere. Well, the code for all of this, the deployment scripts, the workflow YAML, the Python functions, all of it is open source on my site, relearn.ing. So if you want to build something similar or just want to see how the Workload Identity Federation works in practice, go check it out. Thanks for watching.